The Geeks Review will be back in a few weeks, but for now, please enjoy an abridged original production by City Park Radio, The Lion Goats, a cowboy and western adventure, created by and featuring the voice talents of the Geeks Review cast. Our story begins in the year 1909, in a small town a few miles north of the Mexican border. Our hero is the town's Marshal, John Malcolm, a man well liked and respected by his community. Only he had a dark past as an outlaw. It was his past that caused conflict with one of our villains, a sly Texas Ranger Kurtz, and his associate at the Bureau of Investigation, Agent Robertson, who had long sought to bring John down. It was the night our story began that John was called before them, for they had a dangerous assignment for him to take on.
Well, I'm guessing this isn't going to be a tea party. So why have you called me here, Kurtz?
No, not quite. Mr. Robertson has brought to my attention a case that's of the utmost importance in protecting this country from foreign invaders. It's this very case that has led me to bringing you in here this evening.
One of Mexico's most vicious outlaws in recent years has spread his reign of terror beyond the border onto American soil. We would like you to stop him.
We want you to lead a posse down into Mexico to bring this ne'er-do-well to justice. Well, through whatever means necessary.
I don't know if you fine men have realized, but isn't Mexico a little bit beyond all our jurisdiction?
This is a joint effort between the United States and Mexico to bring this man to justice. They're supplying their own resources to get him. There's a reward of $2,000 for finding him.
And who is this man supposed to be, anyway?
His name is Leon Cabras.
What's this man guilty of, anyway?
Oh, you're naive, John. This is no man. Leon Cabras is a monster. The devil walking the earth. A threat to civilization as we know it and the future of this nation. In the last few years, he's amassed an army of followers. And now his march of evil's begun.
I tell you, boys, it sounds like you have a real problem on your hands. The Rangers may very well have met their match with the devil himself. I don't think I can help you.
Marshal Malcolm, you may not have realized it, but we are ordering you, not asking you, to take a part in this manhunt.
Now settle down, Robertson. John's more than welcome to turn this assignment down, just so long as he doesn't think of what's going to happen to his daughter if he does.
Excuse me?
Kurtz was not afraid to use threats of violence to get his own way, but a threat against family was a low blow that nearly made John snap and reach for his pistol. He resisted, but Kurtz had succeeded.
What do you want from me?
I accept the offer.
It's accepted.
Good. Very good. Now we're getting somewhere. Your next step is to find two more to join you. We have more places to fill, and while we have a few solid options lined up, we hope you can find someone you can trust, if only to watch your back. Good night, John.
John stayed up late into the night, trying to consider who he could take on this dangerous mission, before he arrived at his answer. The next morning he rode out to meet his new recruit, a young widowed rancher and former champion sharpshooter, Cathryn Engel, an old acquaintance of his.
What brings you out here today?
No real reason.
Now, we both know that ain't true.
I just wanted to see you.
Well, here I am. Look at me. Widowed at 21. One brother-in-law packs his bags and moves to New York. The other to California. Leaving me here 2 years later, stuck with a dying farm and no usable skills outside it.
There was a reason why I came.
Oh, yeah?
Do you ever remember me mentioning a Lindsay Kurtz?
I think so. Was he in the government or a ranger?
That's the one. I met him last night. He had a job for me.
As a lawman.
Kinda.
What's he want you to do?
He wants me to go down to Mexico and capture some outlaw. And on top of that, he wants me to recruit 2 others to join this posse he's put together.
And you want me to be one of those 2?
You're my first choice.
I can't, John. I can't just up and leave the farm. It's hard enough already. Why me, anyway?
I guess we'll be needing a crack shot.
You've already got yourself a crack shot, John. You. You don't need 2.
Well, many hands make light work. Ain't that the saying? Think about it. 2 of us. We're sure to bring this guy down.
Yeah, and I'm sure the ability to hit a tin can at 30 paces is enough to bring down the most vicious of outlaws.
No, but it'd help. I'm sure the others in the group will more than make up for the other skills we need.
What's the name of the guy you're going after anyway?
Leon, some Spanish. Kurtz says he's the devil with some army that he's gonna take over the world with. Also said he's the one who rustled the Graham's cattle last week.
Dear Lord. All right. I'll join you.
Why the change of mind?
Saves me worrying about you, not getting any work done here. I may as well be with you when you're out there looking for that guy.
Oh, did I happen to mention the payment for finding this guy? That was the ace up my sleeve.
Well, the implication was there, but that'd certainly help sweeten the deal.
I best get going. I'll ride back when I know more about what's happening.
You don't have to ride back. You can send one of them newfangled telegrams, though you probably need help from someone younger to teach you how.
I ain't that old.
Yet.
John, we've got a message here from Kurtz. He wants you to head up to the Tailors to pick up someone called Abrams. Said they'll be of help to you.
Right. Thanks.
John traveled to meet the tailor, an odd man with many strange ideas, but he presented the recruit that Kurtz had picked out for him, a Native American woman raised in white society and working as the tailor's assistant, Morwenna Abrams.
I should warn you, she is an Indian, Marshal. Not that she can help it. She's a master hunter and tracker of Comanche warrior stock. Brutal, resilient. When I heard Ranger Kurtz was assembling a team to bounty hunt, I leapt at the chance to volunteer her services.
As the tailor left for the back room, Morwenna spoke honestly.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Marshal, but there's been a mistake. Anything my dear boss has told you about me was completely fabricated within that syphilitic mind of his. I'm not a hunter, nor do I have any kind of tracking skills. I've never fired a rifle, let alone held one. I think you should know all of this before we leave here today. But I am a quick learner, and I beg of you to take me with you.
Well, what use are you to me if you're no tracker?
Here we are. All packed and ready to go. All your belongings are in here, Morwenna. I even checked under that loose floorboard under your bed, and put all your money and jewelry from there in your case, too. Right. She's all yours, Marshal. Ready to tackle those foreign hordes.
Right. Are you sure Miss Abrams exactly up to the task?
Why shouldn't she be?
She might not exactly be qualified, working as a tailor.
Of course she is. Look at her. It's in her blood.
So by that logic... No, I've had enough of this.
Now off you two go. Go fetch me that glory, Morwenna. Don't let me keep you waiting.
Hang on a minute. Wait!
Goodbye.
Confused by this latest development, John took Morwenna to the saloon, where he questioned her further.
So, what's your story?
My story? Do you mean to ask why a tailor's assistant's being palmed off to you to hunt a dangerous outlaw?
Well, I was going to get to that.
My life story, then. I was raised in Laredo, probably born there as well. I live with a Jewish family from Cornwall in England, I think.
You're not a Comanche warrior like your employer said?
Yes, I am a fierce Comanche warrior, but I hide it well. No, not Comanche. I heard whisperings of Wichita, but I don't know for certain.
Wichita? I think there's some of them based up in the Dallas area.
I've never been more than 50 miles out of Laredo.
I'm guessing you want this opportunity to go out and try and find something?
There's nothing to find, so I have nothing to look for. So I'm not going to abandon you if that's what you're thinking. If I might be frank, John, if I don't get out of this town soon, I'm going to walk out right in front of a galloping horse. I've been stuck in that tailor's for 4 years, listening to the incessant ramblings of a delusional fool, while being treated as nothing more than vermin. Traveling to a land I've never set foot in, hunting a vicious criminal, dodging bullets and suffering through heat stroke is the better option. And I'll do whatever it takes, learn whatever I can do to pull my weight.
Well, you're welcome to tag along. And trust me, you will be pulling your weight. Now we just need to figure out what you can and can't do. Can you shoot?
No.
Can you ride a horse?
Yes, rather well.
Then we're halfway there. And you're already more qualified than half the fools in the business.
The pair packed up and headed to a field just outside of town for target practice. After a while, Morwenna was beginning to get a hang of it.
Very good. You've taken that tin can's ear off. That's a skill if you can keep it up.
I've fired 10 shots and hit 2 targets. I don't think any bandits will be willing to stand quite so still.
We've all got to start somewhere. Reload. Go again.
Shall I reset the cans first?
You've killed 2 of them. Now you have to take out the rest of their friends.
How'd you do? What you two up to?
Shooting practice. Miss Abrams? This is Cathryn Engel. Miss Engel, Morwenna Abrams. The 3 of us make up the team so far.
Pleasure to meet you, Morwenna. Are you a bit rusty with your shooting?
I'm new to it. This is the first time I've so much as held a gun.
Be careful with holding it like that. She's a first-time shooter.
Long story, but she's willing to learn.
Well, I'm sure you had your reasons for agreeing to it.
Cathryn took the rifle and proved her skills, taking out each target with ease.
How many hours did you spend learning to do that?
My father taught me when he got me my own rifle when I was 7. Then I traveled around with the fair, showing off. So quite a few hours, I would say.
Time I don't have, unless you happen to have H.G. Wells' time machine hidden away somewhere.
So long as you know how to use a rifle, that's all that matters.
Marshal, Ranger Kurtz has summoned you to the sheriff's office.
He has? What am I, his damn servant?
Arriving at the sheriff's office, John found Kurtz and Robertson waiting for him, with 2 sleeping men locked together in a cell.
Glad you could make it, John. How's the recruitment going?
What can I do for you?
Oh, such manners. I'd like to introduce you to the 2 newest members of our team, Drew Morrill and Walden McDonald.
You're making me work with criminals?
I thought I'd just make you feel at home, John. You used to keep people like this in your company all the time.
20 damn years ago I did, but that's changed now.
I was referring to your time as a sheriff in Laredo, John. Oh, did you think I meant that time you rang with the Harlan gang? I'm sorry for the confusion. In any case, that only makes you even more qualified to deal with these 2.
Morrill, McDonald, wake up.
Yeah, I was having a nice dream then.
Drew here is a hunter and tracker from up north. While I had heard you and just recruited your own, I think 2 trackers should speed up the process.
Any help is appreciated, but I'm the best that there ever was. Rabbits, deers, wolves, bears. I've shot 'em all. I've been up in Canada trapping moose the last few years.
Well, that's big talk, Mr. Morrill. Those moose traps must be even bigger.
I'm getting the impression this man doesn't believe my claims, Kurtz.
Marshal Malcolm's a hard man to please, Mr. Morrill. I wouldn't take it personally. On the other end, Mr. McDonald is a bounty hunter.
Where are we going then? Mexico? I ain't fond of that place. It's got the same problems as here. Too many Yankees, am I right?
Mr. McDonald exists somewhere on the outlaw spectrum himself, so we believe he might bring a valuable insight into your quarry.
In the last 6 months since these 2 met, they've committed a list of crimes longer than my arm. We feel this assignment will do them good to set them on the right path.
Can I talk to you a minute?
Come this way.
What are you playing at, Kurtz?
What do you mean, John?
If Morrill is an outdoorsman, I'll eat my hat. Have you seen the size of him? There's not even a horse big enough to carry him. McDonald has blood round his mouth, and I'm not even sure it's his. I don't suppose you've got cannibalism on that list of yours.
They may be a bit rough around the edges, true.
They do meet the requirements for this task, to do their bit to make this country the best it can be.
The requirements for this task? You've been talking about this Leon Cabras, the devil incarnate, or something to that effect. And I'm being sent out there with a Tailor, and those 2 fools... Are you trying to get us killed?
Is there a problem, John?
That's it, isn't it? This isn't about taking out some outlaw. It's a spring clean. You're trying to get rid of us, of them, by sending us up against impossible odds. And if Leon Cabras dies, that's just a bonus, isn't it? Criminals fighting criminals. More natives. Old scores to settle. That's what this is, isn't it?
Maybe it is. Did you really think the infamous Malcolm Carver, outlaw extraordinaire, could just change his name and switch sides as if it made a difference for what you've done? You're a relic of a bygone age.
Kurtz.
Very well. Even if it was the case, which it may not be, it is your duty as a lawman, John, to do your part to uphold it. Is that understood?
Call it what you like, Kurtz. I know what it is.
And the same to you, John, if it helps you sleep at night.
Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, same. Don't mention it.
Oh, hey, Marshal. I was just coming to see you.
You were?
I'm Albert, sir. Albert Little. I work on the railroad. I used to be a farm hand at Engel's ranch a few years ago. I heard you and Miss Engel were heading up a bounty hunt down into Mexico. I've always wanted to go, and I thought I'd come see you. See if you'd consider me. I can ride well, and I'm pretty good with a lasso and a 6-shooter. I know it would be tough work. Had a few run-ins over the years, of course. And if what I'm hearing about this guy you're going after is true, well, what I've dealt with is nothing.
Mr. Little, if you feel strongly enough about this, you're welcome to come. But my advice would be to turn around and go back to your job. There's nothing against you here at all, but I'm trying to save your life. The bad guys here are the ones giving the orders, not the guy we're hunting. Trust me.
John, Cathryn, and Morwenna set off early the next morning, traveling south into the city of Laredo, to meet Kurtz, Robertson, McDonald, and Morrill by the bridge crossing the Rio Grande.
Morning, John. Sleep well?
I certainly did. Now I know what I'm walking into.
I thought you would. Miss Engel, it's been a long time. Hope you made arrangements to make sure your ranch is kept safe while you're away.
It'll be safe until I return, and I will be returning, Mr. Kurtz.
I should hope so. Mr. Morrill, Mr. McDonald, if you may join them, please.
We really are a traveling freak show, aren't we all?
Speak for yourself, Walden. Marshal, soon you shall see my claims are true.
Doubtful.
Glad to see I could make it. Rode as fast as I could.
So you didn't take my advice. I hope you're as good with that gun as Morrill here says he is at hunting.
I figured the risk was worth it.
Albert Little? I thought it was you. Good to see you.
And you, Miss Engel. Time to see your sharpshooting put to good use.
Is that everyone?
Hold on. Here comes our leader now.
Excuse me?
Marshal Malcolm, a pleasure to meet you all. I am Javier Salvador. I've heard much about you.
Mr. Salvador is a celebrated lawman south of the river. The best, so I'm told. Captain Salamanca here has personally chosen him to lead this team.
Javier Salvador is the best man we have to offer. His only flaw is that he makes us all look bad.
Not that I mean to. I do what I can because I must.
Your first stop when you travel into Mexico will be a town called Prima Punto. It's a day's ride southwest. There we'll wire you your first instructions.
Kurtz, I thought you said I was leading this.
I must have been mistaken. Do you know much about the Mexican landscape? I thought not. Salvador's an expert in such matters, eh? We wouldn't want you all to get lost and die in the desert, now would we?
I'm sure that would suit you just fine.
Hello there, ladies.
Howdy.
If I could get everyone's attention, if we could all form a line in front of the bridge so we may take a photograph before you set off.
You know why they're taking these photographs? So they can identify the bodies later on.
You are a charming individual, aren't you?
And so the team set off into the Mexican wilderness towards a great adventure. It wasn't long before Javier Salvador rode up beside John.
So, Marshal Malcolm, I had heard you were once a dangerous outlaw yourself.
And where did you hear that?
Captain Salamanca and Ranger Kurtz referenced you by the name Malcolm Carver, a name I remember hearing of in my youth, a shooter who used to run with the Harding gang along the border.
You're mistaken, I'm afraid. I'm not Malcolm Carver.
Well, you're not anymore. It's good to see you get away from that life, and to something better. I myself had a few troubles when I was younger, before I was set on the right path.
Did you really?
Not quite to the level of outlaw. In fact, what I did was rather tame. But we all grow and learn from our mistakes. And as the captain said, your knowledge will be instrumental in helping us bring Leon Cabras to justice.
You see, when I was recruited, I was led to believe that I would be leading this mission.
Strange. Why would you be told that?
No idea. Say, what did Kurtz and your captain tell you about me anyway?
Your name, nothing more. The rest are new from stories. Like how you shot dead 15 men during a botched bank robbery in '99.
You've only got half the truth there. I only ran with Harlan for a year and a half starting in '87, before I had enough to get away. As far as I'm concerned, that's not me and never was. I became a deputy in '91. I was a sheriff in '99 when I shot those guys, the ones robbing the bank.
That is a very different story to what I'd heard. I thought you were gunning your way across the South as a man on the run for years.
I've killed more people working for the good guys than I ever did the bad.
Isn't that funny how things work out?
Sure. It's a laugh.
I took up hunting about 10 years ago. Ever since then, I've become something of an expert, going after big game like deer, moose, even mountain lions and bears. A few seasons ago, I was in the Appalachians, hunting black bears. I set baits and waited. Then one morning as I woke, I saw one just a few yards from where I lay. Crept up behind the brute, my knife in hand, and I swung my foot back and kicked him right between the legs.
I must say, that certainly sounds impressive, Mr. Morrill.
Why, thank you, Little. You can call me Drew. Bears are tricky creatures, and they're damn smart. Smarter than people give them credit for.
Smarter than the average bear?
Yeah, you're exactly right.
I reckon one could sneak up on you pretty easily, hey? Take you from behind?
Oh, yeah, they can. But my senses have been attuned to pick up such things. But still, they try. I was staying at a log cabin a little while after that. Another morning I woke up, one was over my stove.
Cooking himself some porridge.
No, I've not seen a bear do that.
So they get inside your house. Do they know how to open the front door?
No, of course. They come through the chimney.
The chimney? Right, of course, the chimney.
Yep. Boy was black from the soot. He was blacker than... yeah, on top of being a black bear.
So I guess you need to be prepared for any kind of situation that might be thrown at you.
Constantly vigilant. That's right, Al.
So, just a hypothetical situation here. You okay with hypotheticals?
I'm fine with any kind of hypothetical, hyper or otherwise.
A hypothetical situation. You're in your log cabin, and you get up and head to your washroom. And as you're in there, your back turned to the door, 2 bears enter and try to take you from behind. How you deal with that?
Well, firstly, even as a hypothetical, it would be impossible.
Why's that?
I don't have a washroom.
The group stopped for camp that night, allowing everyone a chance to connect a little more.
How long you been a lawman?
Nearly 11 years. It has passed me by quickly. My town was overrun with bandits. I took up arms to help, and when it was all over, I decided to keep on it.
Kurtz described you as celebrated.
I do what I must, nothing more. Anything I can do to uphold the law. If doing my job makes me a hero, well, it shows what a sorry state everyone else is in. Before I go, am I to understand that you and the Ranger Kurtz do not see eye to eye?
That's a polite way of putting it. He threatened my family if I didn't take part. Sure, there's more history to it than that, but that should be enough reason to dislike him.
And right you are. He's lost all favor with me.
These beans taste like they were canned last century.
Quit you complaining. It's good enough for me. It's good enough for you, princess.
Personally, Walden, I think that's another fine meal. Tomorrow, I'll go hunting. See if I can find something a little more fresh.
Oh, here we go again.
This meat kept well. You know, it doesn't matter what color they are. Man always tastes the same. It's pork! You should have seen the look on your faces.
Man, I had enough of this. We ain't even a day in.
The next morning, they arrived at their first stop. Drew volunteered himself to go collect a telegram with Kurtz's instructions on their next assignment.
Is that wise?
Have faith, John. I know you have nerves about this whole operation, but it will do you no good to continue thinking everyone is a child who needs constant watching. Come, let us check out the cantina.
I'm off for a little look around, see what I can find.
Howdy, my name's Drew Morrill. I'm here to pick up a telegram for Javier Salvador.
Ah, American. It come just this morning. Here you go.
Thank you.
I took the liberty of transcribing it to Spanish from Mr. Salvador, sir.
What? Why would you do a silly thing like that? I needed it English.
Lo siento? Okay, my mistake. I have the original somewhere.
Carl, ven acá.
¿Quieres?
Ahora.
Wait, where are you going? Come back! Anyone here speak English? American?
What are you hoping to find in here?
First, a drink. I think we have earned that much. The second, to ask about Leon Cabras and see what we can find out.
You know, I've never heard of the guy until a few days ago. I was told he was a monster, the devil or something, ready to march across the lands to storm America.
Which is why it would pay for local opinion. Señor, dos tragos. Gracias. Leon Cabras, have you heard of him?
I have not. Is that all?
Si, gracias. Nothing. Mysterious.
You there, speaking English?
English, I speak a little. What can I help you with?
Thank you. Someone talking sense. I got this telegraph. It's in Spanish. And I need it in English.
Let me have a look. Do you have another paper for me to write on?
Quickly as you can.
So how do you know the others in this group?
Cathryn and I go back a few years. Morwenna and the others only a few days ago.
Miss Abrams is a striking woman. If more bounty hunters look like her, I would not complain.
Well, that's not really the, point of bounty hunters.
Mr. Salvador, praise you, sir. You saved me last week from the holdup. Without you, I would surely be dead.
It was a pleasure, sir. How is your son?
He is well, thank you. Now he's feeling better. He wishes to be like you.
The more people willing to step up and do good, the better the world will be.
Please, take this money. As a thank you.
I must refuse. The reward for saving you is enough. Buy yourself a good meal.
I will. Thank you.
Does that usually happen?
Okay, Javier, stop. East of Primer Punto, stop. Reyes silver mine to find lion goats. Stop.
Lion goats?
See.
Silver mines, you said.
Clear out bandits. Stop. Report back to Salamanca in primer punto. Stop.
Damn, I gotta go. I'll take that. Thanks for your help, mister.
Strange Americans.
Walden, what are you doing?
I'm just having some fun, Marshal. These people aren't one to party, though.
I got the telegram, Salvador.
Cathryn, Morwenna, Albert, get the horses. Let's get out of here before Walden starts a shootout.
You snake! I will put you in the ground.
An angry man ran from the building Walden had just exited, brandishing a pistol between them all. As John and Cathryn reached for their guns, Javier stepped between them with his lasso drawn.
Sir, I must apologize to my friend. Do not trouble yourself. He's not worth it.
In the blink of an eye, Javier whipped the pistol from the man's hands and into his own, emptying it of its bullets and returning it to the man.
Do not waste your time in such matters, or one day you might come off second best. Okay. Lo siento.
What did the telegram say?
The clerk, for reasons unknown, translated from English to Spanish and lost the original. Lucky I met a helpful man who translated it back. Ray Silver Mine, west of here. Must be overrun with bandits.
I know of this mine. Was long abandoned and has since been a den for all kinds of criminals. I have been thinking, John, our group needs a name. We are a team, a name to identify with.
If you insist.
Let us think. The Marvelous Seven? The Riders of Justice?
The Traveling Freak Show?
Speak for yourself, Walden.
What about the Lion Goats?
No.
The Lion Goats. That has a ring to it.
God, please, no.
Both powerful animals. I've had a few run-ins with them when hunting, and
I think lion goat sounds like an interesting name. What do you think, John? Come on, lighten up.
Fine, call us what you want. Just don't expect me to say it.
And so it is decided. Lion Goats, right out!
And so the group rode off into the desert to confront those bandits at the silver mine, hopefully bringing them one step closer to confronting the outlaw, Leon Cabras. Tune in next week to hear the continuation of the adventures of the Lion Goats, or head to cityparkradio.com and look under the podcasts page for the entire series. This series featured the voice talents of Aaron Beck as John Malcolm, Keith Wiggins as Kurtz, Raquel Alty as Cathryn, Jemima Bourne as Morwenna, Jake T. Hodgetts as Javier, Stewart Fulton as Drew, Yossi Vandenberg as Albert, Matt Langham as the Villagers, Jack Moon as Salamanca and Woodbury, Royce Pentaghast as Robertson, Walden, and a Tailor, with additional voices by Benjamin Rossiter and Joshua Law, with the original series narration by Anna Moons, with music by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com and Brett Van Donsel, produced by City Park Radio. Can I stop the American accent now?